Let's get into our TVZ. Ah, this is going to be a good one. Oh, I'm excited for this one. We had a nice first match, but it was just a warm-up for the real ZVT here. And spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Gräsfarm, we have the Blue Zerg for Onside Gaming. Solar. And its opponent in the upper left-hand corner, the Psy Storm Gamer, the Red Terran. SpeCial. Did you see Solar take down a Terran? Orianna looked quite strong. I did not know who Orianna was, and I will be paying more attention to Orianna because that was quite strong play. 16, 17-minute games against Solar that were honestly pretty back and forth. And while I think Solar was fairly comfortable and dealing with all the pressure, it was a lot of pressure. Orianna looked really nice, and I feel like we're going to see Orianna take some games and some matches off of strong players in the next few months if they keep playing like that. That being said, SpeCial is a completely different breed of player. We may see some similar builds to what Orianna did, which was just very standard Hellions into Marine tank pushes, etc., macro play. But SpeCial, what makes SpeCial, I think, really difficult to play against is you never know when a mech build's going to bust out. You never know when a cheeky one-base play is going to bust out. You never know if 3 battlecruisers are about to warp into your base. That kind of stuff does happen in SpeCial's games. And I hope we get to see some of that fun action here. Now, that being said, I do believe there's some ESL qualifiers and things happening in the next few days. So SpeCial might not show anything too crazy here if he's got some builds he's been thinking about for against Zerg. Might not want to show those ones, especially in a tournament where replays are given out to patrons. You just never know. Maybe one of your Zerg opponents in the next couple of days is a patron and supporter of the KSL. It could happen. But this is about as pure macro as we can go here. It's going to be Hellions, 2 Hellion production, and a 3rd CC. Solar's going to come in and scout and see nothing too crazy. We'll probably try to hop up the ramp. See if there's anything up here worth looking at. Doesn't quite get in. Doesn't quite spot that 3rd. Nice position for the CC. But it's just going to be that good old macro play. And Solar, generally speaking, is more of a in favor of the macro play. As we saw in that last match versus Orianna, just quite content to go for Lingbane Queen, get into those upgrades, get to a hive, and just keep on from there. Doesn't have any pressing reason to try to get into anything crazy here. SpeCial's going to try to dive in with the Hellions. Good drone pull. The drones just try to stay alive. And it looks like both the Hellions will somehow stay alive as well. That's actually crazy. Just trading with a couple of the Lings there, but that's wild. All right, well, good work, Hellions. Overlord comes in, sees the 3rd CC. Doesn't get to see that there's more barracks behind this, though. That's a bit unfortunate for Solar. Again, one thing SpeCial is able to do very easily is just go into some mech play. But this is kind of the opposite of that. It was literally just those 2 Hellions to open up. Solar comes in and sees still just the same 2 Hellions. And also probably feels like it's likely not mech play. Still not a ton of information, just 2 Hellions and 3 Marines out front. Could be literally anything behind that. And we know it's going to be Stim, going to be a lot of Marines. And it looks like, I was going to say Widow Mines, but I think this reactor is actually for the starport. I think we're just going to see the Marine drop, Stim Marine drop, to follow this up. Duddles, good to see you in chat, my friend. The real Duddles. Diesel maximum power. with that hot and fresh Founders badge. Hope you guys are doing well. One thing I did notice from the last series, and I don't know if this was just specific to that last match, maybe it's not something Solar would normally do, but we did see Orianna the Terran from the last series kill a lot of Solar's queens. Solar did not remake them, and I think that's something kind of worth noting if you are the Terran, because it really hurt Solar's creep spread in that first game. When pretty much all the queens died, there was like 3 queens left alive, and the creep spread was just whatever active tumors were around. And Solar's creep spread never really hit that point that you'd normally want it to, and we see it starting to spread out here, starting to fan out. Solar's going to keep working on it, and SpeCial's going to start clearing it now with these Marines out. But killing those queens is absolutely a key factor, because it doesn't seem like Solar was itchy to remake those. More Marines getting picked up and run out of there. It is going to be some Widow Mines with this as well. Widow Mines a strong supporter against the Ling Bane. No infestation pit just yet for Solar, so he's not getting into a super fast lair. It looks like the Hellions aren't going to be too long for this world either. SpeCial going to go for a 4 medevac drop in the main. There are a couple of spores here. SpeCial needs to be really careful to keep these medevacs out of range of the spores as much as is possible. But with 4 medevacs full of Marines, this is going to be a problem for Solar. He needs to get those Banes up here. They finally show up. Marines are going to trade super well against the Lings in the meantime. Then he's just going to lift up and try to get out of here. Ooh, gotta avoid that Spore Crawler. Goes straight into the third base once again here. The Queens are here. Trying to transfuse a little bit. Widow Mine's hitting off on Queens. That's going to allow the Ling Bane to fight this quite a bit better. Those reinforcement Marines get cleaned up, and SpeCial is still being very annoying with this. He's going to clean up some drones now. This Hellion, in the meantime, is doing something. But it looks like, oh, SpeCial gets pushed away, loses a full medevac of Marines. And Solar keeps holding on. He did lose 8 drones, though. That's a little bit painful. Going to have to drone up behind this. And he is droning up pretty substantially behind this. 1-1 is done for SpeCial. Solar's is nearly there. Should be done before this next engagement. And it looks like SpeCial's pushing on the top side. He still has, even though he lost that one full medevac, he still has, what was that, 12 Marines over here. Definitely worth paying attention to. And Solar's got some units there to defend. It looks like Solar sniffed this one out as well. Oh my god, that Hydra somehow lives. Widow Mine gets a good connection. Attempted split there from Solar. Medevac's in the main, not really getting it done here. Ooh, this medevac getting super low. The friendly fire from the Widow Mine, bit of a problem. But of course, during all this, SpeCial is trying to set up a 4th base. We could see a run by from Solar, but the drop behind the main is actually keeping what would be, I think, run by units back at home. So Solar not able to send that out. Another good Widow Mine connection before that Widow Mine dies. Now we've got to push through the center. SpeCial just running in, does not care. Gonna burrow. He's got so many mines. Is that too many mines, though? No. No, it's not. That's the perfect amount of mines. They will get cleaned up, but they trade quite nicely with the Lings and Banes in the meantime. SpeCial going to start working on some of that creep in the middle of the map. Again, though, because he didn't kill all the queens, there are still a few creep queens here for Solar. Not a ton, though. He's just got 6 queens. One looks like the drop in the main is going to try to sneak in towards the natural here. SpeCial, very tenacious with these drops. Forces the drones to pull away. Not getting a lot of drone kills, but starting to kill those queens. Man, I mentioned this. That's 3 more queens going down, and he gets 8 Marines out of there. Really, really nicely done from SpeCial. And now he's pushing through the center with the core of his army here. He still has that drop, I think, in the natural. It might have gone down, though. Ooh, full medevac goes down again. Solar cleans that one up quite nicely. And yeah, it looks like this medevac did fall to the queens, the reinforcement queens. This double drop, though, only 8 Marines, but still pretty substantial amount of threat if Solar's not paying attention. SpeCial is really keeping the pressure on here. Solar very quick on the defense, though. Loses a few drones. We're going to lose even more. In fact, SpeCial is targeting down the base. I don't think he's quite going to get it, though. He leaves a few units behind. But that base stays alive. 500 hit points left on it. Solar really wishing he left some Hydras with this army to kill those medvacs that are just sitting there. That 4th base, though, is all done here for SpeCial. He's got to be feeling pretty decent about his position. That being said, the Hive has been done for a while, which means Adrenal's on the way. Vipers are coming out. These medevacs are getting cleaned up and pushed out. But as I say that, 2 more medevacs are getting ready to go in, and SpeCial's pushing from the top once again. Solar pulling absolutely everything back, not leaving anything back at home to defend. Not back at home, I guess, up at this 5th base. The base takes a little bit more damage, but Solar's still holding on. And those lurkers are popping now. SpeCial really needs to get into something anti-lurker. Ghosts and or Liberators are definitely the way. It looks like this drop didn't end up getting anything done. Solar was able to handle it, and he forces SpeCial to pull away from the front lines. Liberators are coming out. The Ghost Academy is coming up for SpeCial. So we will have some things to help push away the lurkers. But it is still tough to deal with lurkers with bio. It can be, anyways. Especially if they have support. And the Lings, Banes, and Hydras are not too far away, as well as the Vipers. A Liberator heading towards the main. We've got a huge drop here from SpeCial. That is heading towards the main as well, but SpeCial, he's going to get cleaned up in the middle here. The Parasitic Bomb kills another full medevac. There's only 1 medevac units left, but that drop in the main, it seems to have gone unnoticed. Solar's not sending anything back to deal with it, and that is 5 medevacs. Not quite full, but that is still a lot of bio with 2-2, and that's going to be a dead lurker down. Adaptive Talents has been denied. Spawning pool going down. This Hive might be in trouble. The Lings are here. Oh, the Hive is taking some damage. Yeah, but I think SpeCial, smart to just lift up and get out of there. He's killed a lot of stuff, and he's continuing to push forward. Over here now, in fact, splitting against the lurkers a little bit and just taking a decent little trade, killing a few of them. The rest of Solar's army is back now, though, so he should be able to push this away without too much trouble. Widowmine's getting decent connections. But at the same time, SpeCial, I don't know what he just killed over here. I'm guessing it was an attempted base, maybe even a queen. 25 drones have gone down recently. The worker count is dead even. SpeCial should be able to take this 6th base soon. He's got this 5th down already, turning into a planetary. SpeCial is just keeping the pressure on. He is not letting up at all. He's hitting in multiple places at once, and it's been working out quite well for him. Solar's economy is not great. He's trying desperately to take this 6th base right now, but he hasn't been allowed to. SpeCial has just kept the pressure on. And he's going to once again go for a drop. This is 5 full medevacs into the main base. There is 1 Spore Crawler here and a queen, but Solar is sending some units up now. He is spotted at this time, and a lot of these units will drop directly over the Spore Crawler Parasitic Bomb, and the Lings are underneath. SpeCial lifts up, but he's going to lose absolutely everything. Oh my god, 1 medevac escapes with the units in it. But everything else died, trading very poorly, I would guess, against the Lings. And just like that, the supplies were dead even, but now SpeCial is behind by quite a bit, trying to remake units. And Solar maintains that maxed position and is starting to bank up a decent amount, especially once the 6th base gets going. On 91 drones, he is going to start banking like crazy. And all he needs to do is trade decently with SpeCial, which he's been trading actually better than SpeCial, which is how he's gotten himself into this position. Now, SpeCial is trying to keep the pressure on. He has to be super careful with this very low medevac. But he's going to push through here, trimming off some drones from the backside. Widowmine's not getting the best connections in the world. It looks like this medevac went down. SpeCial gets pushed away once again. Going for the EMPs. Does hit one of the Vipers. The medevac discovers that did not hit both Vipers. These units super overstimmed. Not a lot of medevacs here because Special's been dropping so constantly, he just doesn't have any medevacs left. And Solar's going to keep on pushing. He goes up the ramp. Oh, that's a bit of a dangerous move, but he is going to pull back. Loses a Hydra to the snipe, but retreating Hydra's actually not too bad against snipe anymore. They used to be terrible, but not anymore. Special does have the 6th base, though. It's not quite running yet, but it is up. He's got this 5th base mining. I want to get a repair on this. Oh my god, the Mule Hammer. Jesus. Just like 10 mules dropping all at once. He's going to send one of them to repair. Solar, in the meantime, is just got his maxed out army in the middle of the map. Looks like he's going to try to hit this base. Special is not near enough, I think, to save it. At the same time, some lurkers back here. The scan goes down, but these units are a little overstimmed, and a lot of those units are going to end up going down. 13 SCVs falling as well, and this base gets routed. The Mule Hammer has been partially denied. Special's medevac pinned into a corner a little bit here. Try to dive in. Actually, the Sport Crawler was moved, so Special just gets right in. Really nicely done. This Hive is getting kind of low, man. 436 hit points. These Queens might want to drop a transfuse on the Hive, to be honest with you. Looks like Solar should be able to clean this up. Oh my god, I can't believe this medevac is alive. It's got 1 hit point. Finally, it goes down to the Queens. But that has pulled the pressure off of Special's back a little bit. He's getting some more units. He's only got 66 SCVs, though. I don't really feel like enough for the amount of mining that is still left to do here. Obviously, Mules, pretty good, but still a little bit early here. Ooh, oh my god. Widow Mine's actually going off. What is happening? Special is sending those Widow Mines off on the Changelings. I think by just having them selected when he clicks on the Changelings. And now the Banelings are going to roll in, and some of these units were kind of hurt from the splash damage from the Widow Mines. Special supply is dropping and dropping. 46 more Lings on the way here for Solar. This base is forced to lift again. This time I think it will go down. And Special down to 120 supply, taking a lot of damage here. Solar reinforcing, and Special is forced to tap out. Solar will take game number 1. Very back and forth. Special definitely made some very strong moves there, but Solar just able to hold on and eventually push him away. Man, I really gotta pee. So while they get this map ready and we load into it, I'm gonna go bathroom. I'm just waiting for the invite. Okay, I'll be right back. Oh, sorry. We're in game. All right, game number 2. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Babylon, we have the blue Zerg player for Onside Gaming, up 1-0 in this series. Solar. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner, the red Terran for Storm Gaming, SpeCial. And yes, thank you, Macrocosm, for mentioning the Patreon. This tournament is completely funded by the community. We've got a ton of people in the Patreon. You yourself could become a member today. You just click that link, patreon.com/Korean StarCraft League. And it helps support the prize pool, helps us keep it going. And right now, you may notice if you look at that Patreon, that we have a surplus above what we need to run a $400 weekly. Well, boy, do I have good news for you. We got a big old tournament coming this summer. Details, we're still planning it, but it's looking like we should, if all things go well, be able to have a $5,000 tournament this summer. Just trying to iron out the dates, trying to get it all sorted. We'll have more details in the next month or so as we get everything ironed out. But yes, currently we are planning. It'll be a minimum $3,000 prize pool, but I think it's very likely it'll be a 5K prize pool. And we're actually going to be offering points to the top players from these weeklies. And the plan right now is to give points, I believe, to the top 16 players every week. Higher points to number 1, as you'd expect. And then the top players at the end, or by the time we get to that big tournament, will be auto-invited in. So essentially, if you play in these a lot, you do well a lot. Much like ESL, you kind of just be auto-invited to the big tournament this summer. The Summer Slam, as it were, which is the current working title that I happen to like very much. In any case, hope you guys are looking forward to that, and supporting the Patreon helps us make sure that prize pool stays as tippy-top as possible. EPT or OSC points? No, we're going to do... It's just going to be our own points. So it's just going to be for this cup to get into that tournament. It's going to be internal points. You like the sound of a SummerSlam? I do too. The KSL SummerSlam. It's going to be pretty pog. The KSL Bucks. Yeah, there you go. I like it. I like it. All right, what do we got this game? It looks like another pretty standard opening here from SpeCial. Just getting some Hellions out. Getting the Liberator out. The CC a little bit later than last game. Going to have the ability to put a little bit more pressure on. Solar trying to check and see what's going on. I don't know if he saw too much, though. Not that there's a ton to see. It looks like SpeCial's going to try to be a little bit more aggressive with this time. He's got the 4 Hellions and the Reaper up here. If he can keep the Queens down on the low ground, it might make the Liberator a little bit stronger up in the main. So it looks like where he's sending it right now. Does just have to be a little bit careful. The Spore Crawler and, of course, the Queen that's up here. It's actually a second Liberator behind this as well, so SpeCial's going to keep the pressure on. And that lets me know he doesn't want to lose this Liberator. He doesn't just want to click it in and who cares if it dies. It's just a distraction. Going to worry more about the micro. And I think he's going to go for... Yeah, he's going to try to split the Liberators here and really split Solar's attention. The Hellions on the front, quite a few Hellions. 10 of them out already, 2 more on the way. And that's what I was looking for. Factories behind this. And Solar's trying to keep an eye on what's going on. He does have this Overlord here, but I don't know what he's really spotted. As these Hellions dive in, Queens are not going to be enough DPS. Ling's got to come down and be part of the fight. Ooh, Hellions miss microing a little bit. They get fully surrounded. Solar cleans up the Hellions with ease. And at the same time, this Liberator went down, this one went down, and oh my god. It was such an excellent setup for SpeCial. And I think he misclicked the Hellions here. The drones were all in front of him. And I feel like he could have killed a lot of those. Instead, Solar gets the wraparound and just cleans all of that up. The Spore Crawlers and the Queens dealing with the Liberators. I didn't even see them. And only 3 drones went down. That was an insanely strong trade for Solar. And now SpeCial, his follow-up is not going to be nearly as strong because he didn't get the damage done he really needed to. I have a feeling that little move he just did probably kills a lot of very good Zergs. If not outright, then it allows the follow-up to just keep SpeCial ahead. But now he's playing essentially, not from behind, I guess. The 4th base is a little bit later for Solar than I think he'd like it. The worker count's very similar. But Solar's got quite a bit more army right now, and he's getting into a lot of roaches. He's got that roach 1-1 on the way. He's recognized, of course, by now that this is mech. SpeCial's going to be able to put a little bit of pressure on, but once roach speed is done, it's going to be a lot harder to do this. Oh, and I love that Solar cleared these rocks. It's going to help him push the creep forward. Oh, nice little lock-ons here. Good scan as well. Going to grab a couple of queens. I don't know. Transfuse is pretty good. Where are the roaches? Doesn't get the queens, and the roaches went for the flank. SpeCial realized it right at the last second and should be able to get out of there, but it looks like he's going to lose a couple of Cyclones. Cyclone's pretty quick, though. Gets a few roaches, but Solar is not stopping there. He wants to do some damage. The Lings are going to go dive into this base, and actually it looks like the SCVs are going to help quite a bit, but that's not going to matter because the roaches just get up to the natural, and SpeCial is forced to tap out. Solar takes the 2-0 victory, and I do feel like that follow-up would have been so much stronger for SpeCial if those initial Hellions and Liberators had been able to get the job done. But Solar with the stellar defense at the start, straight into the roaches, able to overwhelm the battle mech that SpeCial was going for, and Solar moves on to the semifinals.